We always have access to consciousness. And consciousness is where the magic takes place when it comes to many forms of meditation, investigating and dissolving beliefs, disidentifying from thought, finding the gap between thought. So it's important and valuable to familiarize yourself with consciousness. How do we do that? Well, let's start right here. Just look into the space where thoughts seem to be. Now, I'm not suggesting you think about this or analyze it. Well, I wonder where thoughts are, and I remember one time this happened, and I noticed that thought, or I wonder what he's talking about. Not so much. More like thoughts occur somewhere, or seem to occur somewhere, such that you're aware of them. Yeah? So for instance, if you have a thought right now that says, I'm sitting in a chair, or a memory comes of something that happened earlier today, how is it that you're even aware of that? What makes it possible that you're aware of that? For instance, if I were to write a sentence on a board, what makes you aware of that? Well, in some sense, you're in the same space of it. You're in the same space as where that sentence is written or where that chalkboard is. If I were to have written that sentence on a chalkboard in a different room, you wouldn't see it. So the very act of being aware of a thought means that there's access to the space in which thoughts are formed. So then it's just a matter of getting curious. How is a thought formed? What's there before the thought? What's there as the thought is arising? Is there something noticing it apart from the thought? Or is the thought and noticing arising simultaneously? The thought and the sense of a thinker, are they simultaneously occurring? Just watch and find out, or experience and find out. What happens when you fully give your attention to one thought in just this moment? Literally any thought. It can be a thought that says I'm stuck, a thought that says I'm bored, a thought that says I don't understand, a thought that says I'm suffering, a thought that says I'm feeling this emotion. Whatever the thought is, what happens when you give it 100% of your attention just as it is? Like one frame on a film strip on a projector. You stop the projector and the light shines directly through that one frame. Just one thought. Can you hold that thought frame? Not move down the chain of thoughts. Not think about thoughts. Not think about what you think of this moment or this conversation, but just freeze frame with one thought. Notice how easy it is to do that. Why? Because the consciousness in which the thought moves, appears, disappears, doesn't move, isn't going anywhere. It's clear, unsullied, untainted, uncolored. Doesn't matter if there's one thought or 1,000 thoughts. Consciousness is unchanged. And you are that consciousness as you experience yourself now. Which itself is not a thought. It's just an experience of being. An experience of being conscious. So that consciousness, just as it is, whether there's a thought or not, is enough. It's a place to settle that you don't have to go to because you're already there. You settle by not trying to go anywhere. You settle by not trying to go into the past, by not trying to go into the future, by not trying to push or pull on your experience, by not trying to solve any problem at all, by not trying to understand anything. all of those tendencies can subside, and consciousness is unmoved. Isn't that nice? Everything you think you know, everything you've ever learned, everything you've ever learned about life, all experiences, etc., etc., they're just thoughts and impressions structured in consciousness. Consciousness is untainted by any of this. It accommodates all of it. But it doesn't mean that we need to constantly reconstruct memories, beliefs, ideas, judgments, projects, including the self project. Just stop all projects here. If the mind says, but, then that's the thought. Zoom right in. How do you know that? How do you know, but, where is it? Come in contact with it. See that you're never out of contact with it. Doubt. One thought says, oh, I don't know, I probably don't get it. This probably isn't for me. I don't understand this. I've never had this or that happen. One thought. Go right to the thought. Go right into the thought. Don't struggle with it. Don't try to eradicate it. Don't label it. Don't analyze it. Don't try to understand it. Just stay. Just stay right here. The knowingness. The purity of mind. Capital M, mind. There's nothing to say about this. Nothing to accomplish. Let it be just as it is, everything, including you. Don't worry about what you are or are not. Those are thoughts here. Let the thoughts be whispers. Let them be silent whispers in this vast ocean of consciousness. Endless, without boundary, without measure, without form, without needing to understand, without doubt, without confusion, without any specific flavor. Let the mind stop. Let the movement of thoughts stop. Everything is accommodated. The subtlest movement is perfectly accommodated, noticed, part of the whole. Tiny wave on a vast ocean. Just stay here. Don't struggle. Don't push. Don't pull. Let everything naturally settle. Let everything naturally come to equilibrium. Let everything naturally come to neutrality. Simplicity. Peace. Without any of the descriptors. Just dial in. Then hang up the phone and enjoy.